covering the news for all of West Texas. News West 9 at 10 starts now.
A desperate search tonight for a missing teen in Andrews. The Andrews Police Department told us they expect to issue an Amber Alert any moment now for 17-year-old Lucero Lujan. Our crew in Andrews spoke with her family, and here's what we learned.
All right, here's a picture of Lucero Lujan. Her family tells us Lucero works at the Main Street Deli and was about to leave to meet her mom on her lunch break. She had planned to meet her mom at home, but she never showed up. Lucero's mom tells us she called her daughter. When the phone picked up, all she could hear was mumbling and Lucero saying, "Why are you doing this?" The family says Lucero's cell phone records show she was last using her phone at 5 p.m. tonight.
Her truck is also missing. It's a white 2008 Ford F-150 King Ranch. It has gold trim. If you have any information, contact Andrews Police. Our crew is on their way back from Andrews right now. We'll have the latest information as soon as it gets in.
Well, he was one of the U.S. Marshals most wanted, but tonight he's behind bars in the Basin. 33-year-old Christopher Vanover was pulled over during a traffic stop tonight on I-20 in Martin County. When state troopers ran a background check, they discovered he was wanted by the Marshals on weapons charges. Authorities tell us Vanover has been known for escaping, so deputies kept the Martin County Jail on lockdown until the Marshals could take over. U.S. Marshals say Vanover was wanted in San Angelo for violating his probation.
A Howard County family is on pins and needles tonight, waiting for word on a missing loved one. The elderly man disappeared yesterday and hasn't been seen since. Search teams are out on foot and horseback looking for the man. Sierra Putman joins us with the latest. Sierra.
Well, Crystal and David, that's right. Tonight, searchers continue to comb farmland just outside of Coahoma for 71-year-old Lonnie Anderson. Right now, you're looking at a picture of Anderson. He was last seen by his wife last night, who reported him missing earlier today. And about 3 this afternoon, someone found his red Nissan truck in this drainage ditch. They also found footprints heading west. Since then, multiple law enforcement agencies have assisted in the search, including the Midland County Mounted Patrol and K-9 units. Earlier today, a DPS plane was the eyes and ears from the sky, and tonight, searchers are waiting for a helicopter out of Amarillo to take its place. Searchers hope the helicopter's infrared and night vision technology will help them tonight. Howard County Sheriff Sam Parker told News West 9, time is of the essence.
Well, it's important because of the heat, and you know, he is 71 years old, so we worry about, you know, medical conditions and things like that. And plus, there's a lot of, you know, with the heat the way it is, time's important. And you know, we're almost at 24 hours right now since he's been last seen, so we don't know for sure how long he's been out here, but you know, time is critical. If anybody knows him, sees him, you know, please give us a call. Hopefully he's somewhere safe, and that's what our hopes are.
Parker told us earlier dogs did pick up a scent, but at this time they still haven't found Anderson. He says if they don't find anything tonight with the helicopter, they'll resume searching tomorrow morning at about 7. Anderson is about 5'5", 180 pounds, and was last seen wearing a blue shirt, jeans, and black shoes. The 71-year-old is also a diabetic and needs to take his medication. So if you've seen him or know anything, you can call the sheriff's office at 264-2244. Reporting in the studio, Sierra Putman, News West 9.
A Permian high school teacher is one step closer to getting the boot. The Ector County School Board accepted the superintendent's recommendation to fire 41-year-old Robert Young. You may remember Young was arrested last month on charges of having an improper relationship with a student. We're told the 18-year-old graduated this year. Last night's vote is the first step in terminating Young's employment with the school district. Then Young has a chance to respond. He could ask for a hearing, which could take up to 3 months. Young has been on administrative leave since his arrest.
A Midland County man is behind bars tonight accused of sexually abusing a young girl over a 3-year period. 45-year-old Russell Betterton was arrested today. He allegedly had sexual contact with a 12-year-old girl several times from 1999 until 2002. Investigators say the crimes were not reported until last month. Deputies are still investigating. They tell us more suspected victims could be coming forward. Betterton remains in jail on a $25,000 bond.
Midland police are dealing with a mystery tonight. Officers found Charles Sprayberry lying next to his SUV covered in his own blood just after 6 Monday night. The SUV was parked along Austin Street near Cuthbert. We're told Sprayberry also suffered severe head trauma. Investigators are still trying to figure out exactly what happened. They've been receiving tips and say they may have some video that will help give them more clues in the case.
Midland ISD's new superintendent says he's determined to make the school district one of the best in the state. Ryder Warren is from the West Texas area, and for years he's worked in the public school system. Warren is focused on bringing the community together to achieve improvement in MISD. He says it's all about setting goals, but knows reaching those goals will take some time.
Investigating what we wanted for ourselves, and then listening to especially the board members talk about what their expectations were, both as a job and as parents of what we want to be associated with the school district. That's what convinced us that this was the place that we would like to be.
Warren says community involvement is the key to a district's success.
A bigger paycheck is on the way for Midland School District employees. Today, the school board approved a pay raise. Based on experience, a teacher will get anywhere from $1,300 to $2,200 more. All other employees will get a 2% pay hike. We're told the district is glad it can help employees now because next year, a cut in state funding means they probably won't get a raise.
Some big changes coming for students in Hobbs. The school district will issue the last $8 million of a $47 million bond they passed 2 years ago. That money will be used for a new freshman school, junior high library, central office, along with a facelift for the high school. School officials tell us because of the economy, the prices are low on materials, so they decided to move forward with the rest of the bond money. All of this will keep the district under budget. Everything is supposed to be finished by this coming March.
Well, you probably know this, the mosquitoes are out in full force, but there's no one fighting those pests in Ector County. The county health department says it's because they haven't been able to hire someone to go out and spray. The job position has been up since April, but no one qualified has applied. Despite complaints that something needs to be done, right now the county says their hands are tied. For now, county officials are asking everyone to cover up when they venture outdoors, especially during dawn and dusk when mosquitoes are most active. Also, remember to use bug spray containing DEET.
Well, we are looking at a quiet evening out there as things are very tranquil. Temperatures are cooling off a little bit. And Storm Tracker 9 Precision Sky Tracker, well, it's rather quiet. We are seeing a couple of thunderstorms hanging on across the northeastern parts of Mexico, in and around areas north and northwest of Presidio. Looking at a thunderstorm there, but that is starting to die out, and that's really about it this evening as we put the Doppler radar in motion, showing everything really flaring up off to the east a little bit more. And I think that's where it's going to stay for tonight, as overall with the sun setting, things are dying down out there thunderstorm-wise. As I take a look at what's going on the maps now, get you up to date with the winds. Still a little gusty, up around 25 miles an hour still, Fort Stockton north towards Odessa, as humidity levels are really jumping up across parts of the eastern Permian Basin and lower Trans-Pecos, and temperatures are trying to cool off, so that that increase in humidity is going to lead to some clouds towards the morning hours, down to 72 on the overnight low, and a few more isolated thunderstorms on the way. We'll talk more about that. Take a look at that exclusive Storm Tracker 9-day forecast a little later.
All right, thank you, Tom. The Gaines County Courthouse is next on the list to get some major upgrades. Crews are in the process of giving the county's aging buildings a facelift and making them more energy efficient. Contractors are touring the courthouse this week. They'll come up with a proposal and a price tag for the renovation project. County officials say the courthouse will be refurbished and updated, including new plumbing and electrical systems. The improvements add up to almost $8 million, and the project should be finished by September.
The Pecos City Council will talk about adding an air ambulance in town tomorrow night. Right now, they're looking at using the O'Hara flying service for that deal. You'll remember one of O'Hara's planes crashed in Alpine several weeks ago, killing 5 people. But Pecos City leaders say they're still planning to hear the company's proposal. They'll also hear a presentation from CareStar on other options for emergency flights. The meeting is set for tomorrow night at City Hall.
Pecos emergency crews are also turning their attention to the ground. The Balmorhea EMS announced they'll be closing down in the next few months. That leaves the city of Pecos EMS to cover the entire county. Pecos officials recently formed a task force to deal with the concerns. Those members held their first meeting last night. Right now, they're looking at ways to make sure Reeves County gets the emergency response it needs. The next meeting is scheduled for August 12th.
A UTPB art exhibit is getting bad reviews, and it hasn't even opened yet. As part of their art association show, UTPB students are building a 9-foot-tall, 26-foot-long replica of the U.S. border wall. It's one of several exhibits that will be on display for the next month. Student artists and art association members say it isn't meant to cause tension, it's just meant to make people think.
It's meant to raise awareness to the issues going on around society right now and the issue of immigration, and it's part of the exhibit. People are going to interact with the wall. It's meant to be looked at, and it's meant for people to think over the issues that are going on.
The art show opens at the UTPB campus on Friday and runs through August 22nd. Admission is free.
If you didn't make it to the post office today, you still have a chance to get the special postmark stamp honoring Howard County. Today was the big unveiling. Howard County is one of 52 counties being spotlighted by the Postal Service. If you missed out, the postmark will still be available at the post office. You just have to ask for it. It's free if you bring in an envelope and a stamp.
More jobs and cotton storage warehouses are on their way to Howard County. Plains Cotton Cooperative Association already has several warehouses where farmers can store their cotton. A few months ago, Howard County approved a $2 million tax break for their expansion. The company has already invested $8 million into their existing warehouses. With the extra $2 million, they plan to build more storage and are looking to add 2 new jobs.
Up next, back on his home turf, the so-called Barefoot Bandit arrived in Washington State today, where he's getting ready for another court appearance.
And new details surface in the case of a Dallas mother accused of strangling her 2 children to death. You're watching News West 9 at 10. More news, more often.
Covering the news for all of West Texas. News West 9 at 6 starts now.
Time served. That's the sentence handed down to Yolanda Madden after she pled guilty to having meth, bringing to an end a 5-year finger-pointing war.
You may remember Madden claimed she'd been set up by Odessa police after her drug arrest 5 years ago. At 5, we heard from Madden. Victor Lopez joins us now with reaction from the other side in our continuing coverage. Victor.
Well, Crystal, David, everyone involved agrees that they're glad this is all finally over. Officials with the city of Odessa and the Odessa Police Department say, despite the false accusations made against them, Odessa police officers are doing an excellent job protecting and serving the citizens in the community. Odessa Police Chief Tim Burton says Madden's sentence puts a cap on the vindication on the conduct and behavior of the officers involved in this case. The burden of going through the case hasn't changed the way the police handle their investigations. City officials say they hope it doesn't tarnish their reputation either.
The behavior of our officers was professional, forthright, with the highest level of integrity throughout this matter.
I'm glad that this is finally over so that we can put this behind us. And the trust that our citizens have for our police department, for our officers, that needs to be real, and I hope this puts it behind us.
Now, as part of her plea agreement, Yolanda Madden was sentenced to time served, 3-year supervised release, and ordered to complete 200 hours of community service. Both Morgan and Burton said while it's not their place to say the sentence was fair or not, they're both pleased with the overall outcome. Live in the studio, Victor Lopez, News West 9.
After years of putting criminals behind bars, Midland County Constable Chalk Harris is now in the hot seat. The constable for Precinct 2 was indicted this morning on 2 counts of tampering with government documents. Specifically, investigators say Harris falsified documents concerning the qualifications of 2 deputy constables and backdated their start dates. Both charges are state jail felonies. He was booked into the Midland County Jail today and released on a personal recognizance bond.
Another victim is coming forward, saying a Midland County man sexually abused her as a child. 45-year-old Russell Betterton was arrested last week. He's charged with aggravated sexual assault of a child. Betterton's accused of having sexual contact with a preteen girl for 3 years. This week, another teen came forward. She's a relative of the other victim and claims Betterton also had sexual contact with her when she was just 12 years old.